Comrades, I am Admiral Andre, and I come to you now at the turning of the tide. Well, I'm not really Gandalf, but in any case, I feel very much inspired, comrades, by the advice that I've received from Comrade Blub 340 and Comrade Tamo A. And that really just shows me again the wisdom of our governing council. So there are three main things that we need to do to hopefully turn things around here for us, since things have been in a bit of a doldrum lately. And the first thing is we really have to work on our quests, and that is something that I have quite neglected. Let's have a look at it. There we go, the tasks. Some of these I know, some of the early ones we did complete, but then since then it's really just fallen out of the bus. And there has been a remark there amongst the comments that even if it is not a very good one, although we have to pay some score to cancel it, it is worth it in the long run because we can access other missions that will give us even more score. So we must not be afraid of cancelling or resigning some of these tasks. So let's have a quick look through them, and then we will consider some of the other things we can do. So the first one here is choose the destiny and activate either the religious order, army state, or the financial sector supremacy project. And I remember long ago I said I prefer the financial sector supremacy, even though we are technically becoming a very religious state here. There was another option of choosing sort of a religious path, but for this I want the financial one, because there is no way we can survive as a modern state without having a very strong financial sector. And that, as you can see, will give us quite a lot of action points as well as score and money, of course. So let's have a look. The financial sector supremacy project. This planning has to be a much more improved aspect, I think, of my government here. So that, I assume, is under the economy, financial sector supremacy. So it is right there. We have gone up to the one before. Unfortunately, there are quite a lot of requirements for this. Advanced financial services, so we have to reach the one on the top there, and obviously the financial capital as well. And religious order must not be active. I think that's fine, it's blue there. Then we already have about half of the action points that we'll need, but we'll need quite a lot of money again. So I don't want to rush into this. We'll have to deal with some of the smaller tasks, I think. But our next research, once the economy modernization is done, has to be the financial capital, because we need that in any case. So 5,000 is a lot again, but even if it means more debt, I feel it is worth it to actually unlock this goal, because that gives us a lot of benefits, and it will also basically be a pursuit of something that we need to do anyway. I mean, financial sector is really such a powerful part of the economy, as we saw with the South African campaign. So that's the one. So that will be quite a bit of time before we can reach that, but I do not want to resign it. The next one is the Cyprus dispute. We might have to actually grab them as soon as possible. Let's just have a quick look at that. This is something that I've been putting off for a while because we were preoccupied in Iraq and all of these other places. But let's just see, if we look at Cyprus, they are very much a democracy. In fact, they're one of the most democratic countries I've ever seen in this game. Let's see, personal control, militarism, it's all zero, and then a bit of interventionism, so it seems like a very nice place to live. But their army is very weak, so there's not much they can do, and they're not in a bloc either, so I think this has to be a goal. Unfortunately, I don't think we can create a core on this territory, which is going to hurt us a little bit when we take them, but we do not have any warmonger level at the moment. So I think we're just going to have to accept that. However, there is one caveat that I want to add, and that is when next we take over a territory, I want us to be in a position where we have enough money to pay off the culture conversion as soon as possible. Otherwise, we're going to have the same problem in Cyprus that we had in Baghdad and Mosul, which is exactly counterproductive, because we'll have to be putting down rebellions the whole time. But in any case, that is the next thing to do, I think. So yes, I'm not sure what the cost will be in terms of putting that rebellion down. Let's just open up all of these menus. We don't have any funding project at the moment, so it might be a relatively good time to actually do that now. What is the next task? Improve the total GDP to 2027. Now, let's have a look again at what that current figure is. It's 1525 and it has been shrinking there, so that is not a good thing. But that said, one of the pieces of advice that the Governing Council gave me was to make sure that there's certain research under the internal politics and economy that will actually help with the GDP growth and HDI. Now, we might have done some of these already. Let's just have a look. So this is under the economy. So the advanced financial services will anyway give us GDP growth. Is there anything that will actually help our HDI that I can see that is actually within our grasp? Sector regulations, population growth, happiness. There's a bit of GDP growth. On this side, perhaps anything else? Score taxes. Economy modernization, that's the one that we're working on right now. So we also have to do economy modernization 5 as soon as possible. Once that is done, maybe after the collective state farms, and then some of these transport ones as well. Let's just look under internal politics also. There's of course the education industry cooperation. This is something that has been lagging behind, I feel, because I remember with South Africa, this was one of the very first things that I took care of, which was to ensure that the education aspect was maxed out as early as possible. So there is Human Development Index as well as and also some GDP growth and even more Human Development Index. So education is also going to have to be the next thing. Not seeing much here, propaganda and total control and all of that. I'm not very interested in going in that direction. Cultural events, there's another thing with cultural programs. So culture and education, those would also be priorities after the financial sector, and also after, what was the other thing under the economy? The modernization. Actually, I'm going to take a moment just to write all of these things down, because planning, I think, is very important to salvaging what is left of Turkey. So I'll just put a cut in the video here and write all of this down. Okay, I've got it. So it's obviously just the things I've said right now. The financial sector is number 1, then the economy modernization, then the education, and then the culture. So that just gives us a structure for going forward. The last piece of advice was to make sure that these ad hoc actions that we have in place are cancelled as soon as they are no longer needed. Now, we did get rid of the fight unemployment one last time, but what about the post-war rebuild? I would like to just have a look. Where are we now with the post-war rebuild? Probably under internal politics. I know there is a place we can see that. Not there. Economy, perhaps? GDP size, unemployment rate, it's gone up a little bit from the actions last time from the Armenians that want to find jobs here in Turkey, but it's not going up by very much. Still, it's something to keep an eye on. So here it is, the war losses. It's 0 at the moment and it's going down by -5. So I know we had a very high level here of war losses, but it seems that it has all disappeared already. So it is a good idea indeed to get rid of this post-war rebuild. And we'll still be going down with 2 per month, but we have 0 war loss anyway. So this will free up 58 more funds and 13 more action points. Deactivate it. What about the diplomatic offensive? Relations with the whole world and warmonger decrease. I think we need to keep this because in this episode, I think the Cyprus issue has to be resolved once and for all. So we need that for now. Okay, everything else, we still obviously have negative GDP growth and all of that, but our army is at its maximum capacity because of that UN resolution last time. But I think it is still much more than a match for Cyprus, so let's grab them. That will at least free up one of the tasks. So, dear Cyprus, we have some news for you. I have to first decrease the relations with them. I think that'll be enough. That'll bring it down by 30 and then we'll be exactly where we need to be. So, continue. And then other long-term plans will be still to get a foothold in space and, if possible, under the ocean. I know there'll be still several more undersea bases coming up over time, but it might be that we have to wait for a bit later to get in on that action. So, pause again, let's have a look. Is it enough? It is enough. So war is declared, 12 action points, 82 money, but at least we have partners as well. And we also have the transports, which Cyprus does not have. So assign all of it and start and finish this thing. Assign the operation of getting a front in Cyprus. And hopefully they can manage this relatively quickly, and that is indeed the case. Frontal advance. They're still trying to set up their ambush, so now is the time to strike. They gave up and capture the roads. 56 warmonger level. It's not great, but it will go up even further once we grab them. But I'm not planning on any other wars very soon, so we'll just have to live through that. I don't think anyone will invade us for that. Hopefully not. Take their airfields, air supremacy. This is very much like a blitzkrieg here. Capture the key cities. It's almost I can't click fast enough. At least we're not the only ones in the UN hit list. Russia is as well, so I don't think they'll take on Russia, so hopefully they won't take any of us. This one is taking a bit longer to implement. But it's like instantaneous, so take the garrisons. Let's just clear all of this news up there. So yes, that's the key. And that's also something that I never really pursued in the South Africa campaign, these tasks. I know there were a few, but I pretty much made up my own thing as I went along, and that was okay. But I think because of these patches and things, now you have to pay much more attention to that. So that's it, the final offensive is here. They're still just desperately trying to ambush us. Well, I'm sorry to take away your great democracy here, but you need to join Turkey now. Okay, it's over. Pause and assimilate. Resistance is futile. Propose peace and acquire the province, and it will be Cyprus, and confirm and send and accept it, and it's all over. So that was very much a lightning warfare. So we end up with 109 warmonger level, which might now be the highest in the world. However, the Russians are still fighting against the Baltic Union, and they're about to take them over, and they already have a high warmonger level, so I assume that they will take our place at the top of the hit list. Now the question is, also the other thing is, because there's so many countries in the UN hit list, there's no way they can get to all of us. At least that's my hope. But now, separatism, what do we need to pay for this? We can actually afford it. Perhaps because it's such a small province, but who knows? We had 2 provinces before, but each one of them was more expensive than this, I think. Maybe because the culture is not so different. I don't know. In any case, do it. And it will take time, but that's fine. At least it is in the process of happening. Cyprus dispute has been resolved and we have action points. So what's our next task? Have to wait a second. It's thinking. Yes, so this is the episode of getting stuff done. This is no longer hard times. Our economy is even growing a little bit despite this conflict. And we have one. Increased market earnings. Let's have a look. Improve your earnings from the stock exchange to at least 1 to 3. So let's have a look at what it is right now. And this is anyway again in line with the financial sector. I wish they gave a summary though of how much we're getting. Is it this? I guess so, 93. So never mind, we get our summary right here. Let's have a look. So who's our greatest contributor? It is Russia. So that means we need to work a little bit on the Americans and the Indonesians first. Of course we're not going to get them in the Bloc. And I see the Indonesians are the same civilization, but maybe we should work on them first. The relations is definitely the worst aspect of our situation there. So Jakarta, let's have a look at you. I hear there's a volcano that's causing trouble here somewhere in Indonesia now. We would like to improve relations with you. Are you up for that? And we could do it simultaneously with the US, but I don't think we could afford it though. No, that costs a great deal of money because of the size of their economy. But in any case, this is a thing that's very much happening today, the whole referendum in Catalonia. I'm very curious to see what will happen there. I've seen some videos of the police being a bit brutal against some of the voters there, but anyway. We will see, but maybe history is being made in front of our eyes. Success! Let's have a look at what the effect of that is. It's now only 75. How can it be worse? It was 93 or something just now. Maybe it hasn't filtered through yet, or another global economic crisis is in the making. Yes, you see it's going down and our money income is going down with it. So there's not much I can do about this when the economy is going in a downswing. But hopefully when it starts with its next upswing, this will happen automatically. But I must just make sure that we keep good relations with those partners. Oh, come on, why does it have to go down so quickly again? At least our warmonger level is going down quite quickly, which is a good thing. So what's the next priority? We have to finish the research and then get on to that financial thing. But that will again take probably, maybe by the next episode or the one after that. I'm not quite sure. Peace between the Russians, and they have assimilated Estonia. So it was not the one that I expected in the last video. The Russians still have less warmonger than we do. Oh well. I don't think the UN is going to do anything against Russia. That would be foolish. And after all, Russia is a UN member or Security Council member. Where are we on that list? Let's just have a look in terms of our GDP size. 17th. That's not too terrible. But still, there's a lot of improvement that needs to be done here. Okay, now I think we just need to fast forward a little bit. There isn't too much to do right now. There's a possible need to improve the military. Maybe 2 more tanks or so. It's not really that we can get that many, but we should keep our forces at its maximum strength. Task completed. There we go. It happened. Improve your earnings to at least 1 to 3. And it is done. And just pause for a moment. Let's see. Is the economy going up? Is that why? Yes, look at that. That was a very short downswing. So yes, I was right there. 130. Fantastic. So, what is next? Do we have a new one? We do. Reduce your warmonger to 0. Well, that is just going to happen automatically. But that will take a little time. Let's see, what is the GDP at the moment? 1590. Gonna have to keep an eye on this. It's a long way to 2000, but this is something I want to achieve anyway, because that's a healthy economic state. So anything at the moment, now would be a good time for another funding initiative, because we could actually pay for it, or we could start paying off some debt maybe. Still number 8, that's not a huge difference. I think let's do this, pay off some of this debt, whatever we can, and also reduce taxes to about 40%, which is still ridiculously high, but hopefully that will at least give some relief to the population. And what else? Let's see. I feel it. Can you feel it, comrades? This is the turning of the tide. I can just sense it. Spain has joined the bloc of the US. Less warmongering, peace treaty, and success with Indonesia. Maybe we could even get another bloc member somewhere. We can't invest, we have to be a bloc member to invest. But let's see, can we invest here again? Not in a long time. Can we invest in Armenia? Not in about a quarter or a third of a year. So, unhappiness in Cyprus, of course, we can expect that, but we are busy assimilating them. And yes, so who would we like in our bloc? If we could get somebody else. I'm just thinking, you know, this could also be a good way of keeping the whole investment cycle going, because you can see it takes a long time for us to invest or to have the opportunity to invest. So having more bloc members will help. Hackers attack! Oh no. Hackers attacked our entire computer system. They caused a lot of havoc and huge data losses. You see, this is the traitors now who don't want us to recover. Pay compensation or improve the system. We do have the action points, and it will add, unfortunately, to our unhappiness. But what's the difference here? I don't really see a difference. I mean, if we wanted to do the one that causes the least unhappiness, I mean, what's the incentive to do that? Surely we would like to improve the system, but it causes so much more unhappiness. But okay, do it. Improve it. Hopefully we don't have that event again. It would be really nice actually if that event happens and then we don't improve the system, and then in a few years it happens again, because then it's punishing you for not actually doing something to stop it. 70 days, we're almost there. And also I need to just have a look around the map again for any other opportunities for embassies or anything like that. Let's just see. Actually, this game is a very good thing if you don't know your geography, because you will be looking around the map a lot, so you will be learning something from that. I don't really see anything. Might be missing something, but okay. What is the next thing? Oh yes, the partnership. Is there a place that we would like as a partner? I know Baghdad will probably love us because we released them. Where's the relations map? Strange thing. What is this line across them? They like us with 90, so that's a good thing. We could ask them, but you know, this is again the thing of wanting to retake them at some point. But this is also a good opportunity to just have a look at who likes us in the world. A lot of people who don't like us, including the US. Chile seems to like us. Ethiopia, maybe them. Malaysia likes us a lot. Well, they can't obviously join the bloc, but let's just see. There isn't even the option to add another one to the bloc here. But they could be somebody for the stock exchange, perhaps. The UAE, it's a pity Qatar is not a country here, or even Kuwait. What about Libya? Eventually we would take them over. Does Saudi Arabia have a bloc? Units required. That's the other thing. We're going to need a lot of units. Oh, almost have enough, but not quite. Who else? Armenia is already, but Georgia hates us, so I'm not even going to try them. What about Azerbaijan? Again, we miss it by just 1 unit. But we could get more units. Okay, I guess that UN sanction thing has been lifted. Let's get some more infantry. We always need boots on the ground. Hey, we can get an entire 1 more infantry. Oh well, let's just fast forward for the armor to be finished, then we can have a look. Azerbaijan could actually be a good option because spread descent, of course, no one can ever leave us in peace. We always have to be attacked by the imperialists of the world. Okay, the armor is done. But yes, Azerbaijan is also an Islamic country, and it is a very oil-rich country as well. And I know Azerbaijan and Armenia has also had their conflicts in the past over Nagorno-Karabakh. So, since we've, mended our fences with Armenia and buried the hatchet, perhaps we can also do that with, we're not really in conflict with Azerbaijan, but bringing all these countries into our bloc will finally put peace between them, So let's have a look. Diplomacy and relations, so improve relations, and that shouldn't take too much time or money. And the other thing with Azerbaijan, I don't think I ever want to conquer them. My ambition is to, spread south, not really take Azerbaijan. I don't really want to reach the Caspian or take over Iran, so it's pretty much the old Ottoman Empire, and I don't think this was part of that. That was part of the old Soviet Union and the Russian Empire. Riots in Cyprus, oh wonderful. Just throw our army into it. And do we have to do the whole frontal advance thing again? Oh, come on. Great, so we've improved that. And what's this now? Nationalists in Poland. Poland used to be a power to be reckoned with, extending far over the lands of today's Ukraine, Belarus, Lithuania, Latvia, Estonia, and Russia. The giant of the former Commonwealth still lives in the hearts and minds of many Polish nationalists. They want to see Polish glory back, expanding into the east. Well, you're gonna come up against Russia soon, my friend. Let's just go to Azerbaijan and see if we can't ask them. It's still not enough, so we're gonna help them. Oh, they need a lot of help. No, that'll have to wait, I'm afraid. So, where's this thing with the rebels? We won the frontal advance, so capture the roads. It's unfortunate, but at least we are working on the separatist thing. Collective state farms. Great, so that's one thing done. Now let's get working on the financial capital thing. We can't afford it. However, we'll get 1 extra slot for the stock market, which will give us more money over time. So I think it is terrible to take on more debt, but the sooner we do this, the more money we will get over time through the stock market. So I'm doing it. Let's just do it. If the US can have 17 or whatever trillion dollars of debt, then surely we can have a little bit. Charity begins at home. Oh man. We offer extensive help to everyone, including wounded soldiers and so on and so on. It will bring the war losses down a lot, but what is that at the moment? Unfortunately, I can't see now. But okay, do it. It's more debt. But that will limit the damage from this whole thing. I see Armenia is very unhappy with us. Can I improve relations or something with them? That shouldn't be too expensive. 12 and 30, so I'm doing it. Implement. I do not want to lose them. We won and capture the cities again where the uprisings have been happening. Cyprus rebels. What next? I'm worried about this. That's a 5th chance to leave. Hopefully we could get them back easily if they left, but I don't want them to leave. Ah, success, and now they're placated again. But we still have this, well, that's the unhappiness in Cyprus, which we can understand. Encircled division. Our infantry in the south are trapped. The enemy, it's a trap. The enemy has completely encircled them. Break the circle and withdraw, which causes unhappiness and war losses, or fight to the last man. We're going to do the first. I'm not going to pay more because we already have that benefit now that we paid for. That reduces war losses, so try and break the circle and withdraw. And the alarm is doing its thing again. Come on. Success! With the help of our 53rd Para Regiment, the encircled troops managed to crush the enemy. We are invincible! Invincible! That's not a safe thing to say because the next thing you get hit by a brick or something. But it takes our unhappiness down a lot, so that's a good thing. Come on, take the garrisons. We'll finish this thing off and then see if we can't convince our Azerbaijani friends to join us before ending this episode. And just do the final offensive and let me know when it's done. So, comrades in Azerbaijan, Baku, let's have a look. Help the country. Can we do that yet? No, not even remotely. Maybe some spy thing could help us? New underwater base. Man, all this stuff happens at exactly the wrong time. But I did want it, but now we have this whole uprising. Having permanent new terrain rich in resources was located deep on the ocean. Who will be the first to claim it? Let the race begin and pay. I don't even care, just pay it. Don't bother me with that debt nonsense. Rebels crushed. We have done it and we get some more score and a lot less unhappiness, so they will now face their justice in the court. Okay, forget about Azerbaijan for now. I'll try to do some more improved relations in a little while. Actually, just hold on. Spread dissent, morale loss, reputation, political system. What are they? They are also a very strong democracy, which Armenia is as well. And what about the UAE? No, they're authoritarian. So we seem to be more on the side of befriending the democracies. Oh well. What's next? We're going to finish the research in 2 days. And then there's this underwater thing. But okay, that will be in a few days. We can take a bit of time before that happens again. Come on. Oh, it's more than a few days. Actually, we can take this time to clear the messages and take care of the stock exchange. Makes a big difference. US success, Russia armor loan, Azerbaijan, Turkmenistan left the bloc of India, and the UN was up to something again. What now? Oh, come on. Attack universal attack permission against one country. But is this now a thing? Why is this coming up? Cancel anti-warmonger. Oh, this must be the thing that's happening now. But most of the countries are against it, including China. But Russia is for that because they are obviously a warmonger. Justification for a military conflict against countries with a warmonger above 45. So we are 45 now and we'll be under it very soon. So we are in no danger of being attacked, I think. Oh, don't do this to me. I was just saying that and then I saw this and then I thought, you know, if you say it then it just happens. And I thought now someone is attacking us, but this is with Poland. So we understand this because we saw the Polish nationalists. Modernization. Okay, so let's just have a look. What's the next thing to do? And that is on my list, economy modernization level 5. It costs nothing, but it gives us GDP growth, so do it. Use your knowledge and experience to provide a steady boost to the country's production, and that will almost cancel out our GDP losses there. So this is a really great thing, but it will take years and years to finish. Are we in another downswing? Man, this economy globally is just in the tank. Terrible. It seems to be staying in the negative for most of the time. Well, what's next? Next is the undersea base. No, I'm not interested in Russia. 450. Good grief. No, I'm gonna do this. I don't care what it costs, because having access to those resources in the base there will be critical, because soon we'll run out here. First, okay, under tide. I think this is the one we got with South Africa as well. Just pay it. Debt we always make, but we must have the action points, which we do have. So we're under now the warmonger level. We're safe from attack. And lastly, I just want to have a look at Azerbaijan again. Paying them is no possibility. And we have too few units again anyway, so that will have to wait for now. This is just something that we can work on in the future. That's definitely the next one I want in my block. Then we will also have a buffer zone here against Russia and against Iran, although it may bring us against the Russians in the future if they try to take the Caucasus for their new Soviet Union. But we already have Armenia, so it's not as if we have more problems now. Okay, I think we're going to leave it here for now. I see Iraq wants help, but we also need help, so I'm sorry, we can't do anything. And yes, so the advice I feel is working already. I mean, we have so many action points because of that successful task, and we'll have more soon. So thank you, and keep it coming. If you see something, say something. Isn't that what the motto is always? And yes, so debt is of course my Achilles heel here. I am the most terrible person. Luckily not in real life. I have zero debt in real life, but in the game here I am a terrible manager of the economy. Anyway, we'll have to see. You see, so much of our money is being tied up there. This has to be another priority, I think. We can't keep paying for these things, but I'll keep doing it for the underwater base, and when that's done, no more payments until this debt has been at least cut in half, because we're losing so much money. We're almost at the point of going in the negative permanently. Oh well, maybe more taxes, 45%. There. Okay, that's it. See you next time. Thank you for watching. Have a fantastic day and week.